All forms of transportation being used to take the lovely ladies to their grandstand seats for the start of racing here at the Summer Nationals. The single elimination round tournament in the first round of funny car racing saw an exciting race between Don Prudhomme and Ron Colson driving the Hawaiian of Roland Leong. This was a rematch of the 1978 race, which saw Ron Colson defeat Don Prudhomme. Both drivers very intent on the Christmas tree starting system. The Hawaiian against the Snake. A great start by both cars, side by side. And for the second year in a row, Ron Colson defeats Don Prudhomme 6.28 seconds to a very close but quicker 6.26 seconds. That's right, the Snake a little bit quicker than Colson, but he was just a few seconds late off the starting line. Let's go to the finish line and Steve Evans.
Very discouraged, Don Prudhomme, Dave, down here really appeared to have a handle on it. Snake qualified low at 6:09. What happened?
It got through the middle of the track and it wanted to drop a cylinder, and then it picked it up again. It was too late. He got out ahead of me there, and it was over.
Who would you pick of those that remain?
I don't know. I don't know.
The harsh reality of losing etched on the face of Don Prudhomme, four-time world champion, first-round loser at the Summer Nationals. Picking up action in the second round of Funny Car Eliminator, there's Trip Shoemake inside Johnny Loper's funny car. You see the driver encased in the roll cage, and right at his feet, the 2,000 horsepower nitro-burning engine. One of the great dangers for funny car racers is fire. We've watched Trip Shoemake before on the Diamond P Sports coverage of championship drag racing as he's experienced fire in Johnny Loper's funny car. His competition is Tom McEwen, but he's nowhere to be seen as Shoemake gets ready for his burnout. McEwen recording a very quick elapsed time in round number one, but thus far has not made any effort to show for this second round of eliminations. Let's go back now into the pits and see if Steve can tell us why.
Dave, as Trip Shoemake accepts his gift here in the second round, Tom McEwen by his car, which apparently is just not able to run.
Right, Steve. Well, you know, we ran Loy T the first round, 6:15, and then I thought everything was really finally coming around. We burned a piston, and it hurt the rod and spun a bearing and ripped the crank, and even with all the help from all my friends, we're out of parts, so this is as far as we can go for now.
A tough break for Tom McEwen, but a great one for Trip Shoemake as the extreme close competition here at the Summer Nationals. And he takes advantage of it. He does not run the car all the way through, shuts it off very early, and just idles it through to save the wear and tear on the very expensive parts and pieces. The engine's now going for approximately $16,000 to $17,000 and soaking up some of that famed New Jersey sunshine. Two lovely ladies just watching Trip coast by and head back into the pits to get ready for the semifinals. The Blue Max funny car, Raymond Beadle at the wheel against Dale Paulding and the fabulous War Eagle. The burnout's using a water where they smoke the tires completely. Both cars now just doing their dry burnouts, making sure that the traction is there for these highly volatile funny cars. The gorgeous car of Dale Paulding. It's hard to believe, but the entire grille and headlight assemblies on these fiberglass cars just painted on by artists across the country, and a great start by both drivers. And it is Raymond Beadle, it appears, and it is Beadle smoking some distance at the finish line, but winning it, matching the qualifying time of Don Prudhomme at 6.09 seconds. The losing time, elapsed time for Dale Paulding, a 6.11. The quickest side-by-side funny car race in the history of the sport of drag racing, and by less than a half a car length, this man, Raymond Beadle, wins it.
That wasn't fair! You weren't supposed to do that.
What did a whip down like I couldn't believe.
Raymond Beadle and Dale Paulding kidding each other down here. That was one of the best funny car runs in years.
Yeah, we left together. I looked over and I missed Dale for a minute, and I run it through the back because I knew Dale would run 240 or better on me. But he didn't pass me. That was good.
It may have been low ET at the event, if not very close.
Okay, thank you. We're going to try anyway.
This is going to help a lot in the world point standings.
Yeah, we're looking good now. Snake got knocked out first round, and a little luck's all we need.
Could be all blue in the winner's circle like this afternoon.
That's what we're pulling for.
Raymond Beadle with 2 cars in this event, both doing well.
The jubilation of the win for Raymond Beadle as the next pair of cars, 2 Corvettes, 2 of the best in the country. Tom Hoover, the Showtime in the lane nearest us. Across the way, John Force from Fullerton, California. Hoover is the current world champion points leader, and he needs this win to extend his points lead. But John Force, after having a lot of trouble qualifying, actually making it on his final qualifying attempt on Saturday night, has done exceptionally well, and Hoover smokes the tires. And John Force, not to be headed on this run, wins it. 6.24 seconds, his speed over 231 miles an hour. And after all the work and effort to just make the program, he's doing exceptionally well in elimination. Here was his first round winner over Don Prudhomme, Ron Colson at the wheel of this man's car. You've heard us talk about Roland Leong. Well, this is the Hawaiian himself. The man has owned several national championship cars. This one of his best, the funny car driven by Ron Colson. Alongside of him, Jim Glenn's car, driven by Jim Adolph, doing exceptionally well at the Summer Nationals. But Adolph brakes. Right there you saw it, and it's no problem for Colson. He doesn't take it easy, though. 6.27 seconds. His speed, 230 miles an hour. As we watch again, we see right at this point the transmission goes away in Jim Adolph's car, giving the win to Ron Colson in the Hawaiian.
Well, Ron, between your excellent driving and a break here and there, round 3 coming up.
Feels good. I thought after that first one, we get the tough one out of the way, we can handle the rest.
That's 2 years in a row that you have hole-shotted your way to victory over Don Prudhomme.
Well, last year I'd call a hole shot. This year was 200ths difference. We just had a little edge, but I'm darn glad it was on our side.
You must really get up when you race the snake, mentally.
Hot. Oh. Yeah, you have to. I mean, you're going against somebody like that, more NHRA wins than anybody in history, 4 world championships in a row. If you can't get up for him, you can't get up for anybody.
Here comes Roland and your guys. Good luck in round 3.
Thank you.
Overall quality of construction and particularly some notable safety items have earned this AA Fuel Funny Car the Fram Corporation's Best Engineered Car Award here at the Summer Nationals. It's owned by the Tom Ryan Racing Team of Trenton, New Jersey, and the car builders, S&W Race Cars, have come up with a real innovation, a device that vents the fuel tank. Any excess pressure is routed throughout the tubular frame, and it completely eliminates, really, the chance of a fuel tank explosion. Roy Harris has driven the car to one of the top spots in funny car qualifying.
4 cars remain in funny car eliminator. This man, Trip Shoemake, driving for Johnny Loper, pitted against Raymond Beadle in the Blue Max, who has to be the favorite at this moment to make it all the way to the winner's circle. Just 1 round to go. He recorded low elapsed time of eliminations at 6.09 seconds, but he injured the motor. By that, I mean he burned a piston, literally melted one of the aluminum pistons, necessitating a complete teardown between rounds. If the motor is good, look for Raymond Beadle to lay down a good number. Trip Shoemake, of course, had that easy run. He did not have to run it hard as his competition, Tom McEwen, was unable to make the call for round number 2 in funny car. They're out together. Beadle with a slight head start. He's extending it, and it is Raymond Beadle into the finals, 6.18 seconds. 235 miles an hour. A very happy crew heads down to pick up Raymond Beadle, head back to the pits and get the car ready for the final. Beadle will race one of these 2 cars. Ron Colson in the Hawaiian, a bright green Corvette, against the other Corvette in the far lane is John Force. Force, a bit of a surprise to make it this far. He had difficulties qualifying, did a fine job in the previous round in defeating Tom Hoover. Very consistent in the 620s, as has been Colson. Roland Leong, the car owner and crew chief for Colson, noted for making horsepower. Can he stick it to the ground? No, he cannot. Smoking the tires is Colson, and it's all over as John Force streaks to another win. 6.29 seconds. His speed, 233 miles an hour. So it will be Raymond Beadle in the Blue Max as John Force wins it right there. Let's join Steve Evans.
John Force, no matter how big the margin, you never seem to know if you won or not.
I never know, do I? Tired. It left good, but it shook hard. I seen him a nose on me a bit, and then
You did win. You didn't red light.
it come out of the shake. I didn't know I was cutting that light plenty close, but I figured I needed to get around him. Ran a little better, but I figured I'd still need it because Roland, he knows how to hit it.
Your first year on the Pro Tour and your second final round appearance. You've got to be really happy with yourself.
I love it. I love it out here, and it's kind of a simple deal for me because all I do is kind of keep the sponsors happy and do what they need to make it work, and the rest I got to hand it all to Steve Pluger because he's the guy that makes the whole thing work.
Well, he's going to have to find a tenth of a second to race the Blue Max.
Well, leave it to Pluger. He'll figure it out.
John Forrest going into that final round. Blue trailers, blue trucks, blue cars. Obviously, this is the camp of the Blue Max. Raymond Beadle goes into the final in funny car. Dave settles in top fuel. Raymond, the condition of your car.
Well, right now, we're changing motors, putting a brand new one in for the final, which we don't like to do, but we would have changed it last run. We had a head stud pull out, so the motors are identical, so we think we still have just as good a chance.
And your car, David?
Well, we're running the same engine we've been running for the 3 races that the car has been competing at, and just keeps on running. We change a couple of pistons around, and that's about it. It's just performing flawlessly.
Must feel good to have a mount that's only 3 weeks old, looking for maybe its second victory here, and everybody's talking about it.
It feels great. From a driver's standpoint, you know, you got the power to go out there and drive around people.
The finals of Funny Car Eliminator. Some $10,000 up for grabs here to the winner. This man, John Forrest, had difficulty even making the program. It took his final qualifying attempt late on a Saturday evening just to make this very tough 16-car show. And believe it or not, here he is in the final. But it's not going to be an easy final because he's running the car that has to be the heavy favorite, the Blue Max. He's dominated the racing as Raymond Beadle has driven this car to low elapsed time of eliminations at 6.09 seconds, matching the low qualifying time of Don Trudeau. So John Forrest, in his first year on the circuit, is into the finals for the second time. He has yet to win the big one. Raymond Beadle, runner-up thus far 3 times in '79. He was runner-up at the Winter Nationals, the Spring Nationals, the Mile High Nationals, and has he got a lead here at the Summer Nationals? And it's Raymond Beadle winning the race. His elapsed time somewhat slower at 6.37 seconds than his previous round. But as it goes in drag racing, he got to the finish line ahead of John Forrest, giving him the big win that moves him into the number 2 place in the World Championship points chase. Let's go to Steve Evans.
Come on, Dave.
Raymond Beadle looking back at the starting line as his top fuel car is preparing to race. But Beadle, congratulations, funny car champion.
Dave, thank you. Hold on.
We smoked the tires there, and I thought for a minute we'd messed up, but we did okay. I told them money held out, luck had come.
And even after you changed the motors, you still had some problems in the pit.
Well, we started up, and we had a brand new manifold on it, and it was cracked, so we had to change it. So I guess when it's your day, it's your day.
And the motor change is no longer a jinx.
I hope not. I hope not.
Just 10 short years ago, the National Hot Rod Association incorporated a new class into championship drag racing that quickly became one of the most popular ever, and that is funny cars. Fiberglass replica bodies of late model American or foreign cars using the same drivetrain. Here's some of the drivers that are left in competition. Ron Colson, driver of the Hawaiian. The 4-time world champion, Don Trudeau. A relative unknown, Kosti Ivanov, making this extremely tough field. Raymond Beadle, the driver of the Blue Max, winner of this event back in '75. The defending national champion, Tom the Mongoose McEwen. Pat Foster, driver of that super quick, super fast Super Shops car. Gordy Bonin from Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. And the current leader in the World Championship points chase, Tom Hoover. Burnouts completed of the first race in round number 2 of funny car racing. Car owner Roland Leong directing his driver, Ron Colson, back into his own tracks, as in the far lane, Don Prudhomme gets set for round number 2. He qualified with a record-shattering 5.95 second elapsed time, came out in round number 1, where he raced against Dale Puldy. He ran 6.18 seconds to take the win, but the problem was he had severe engine difficulties. They went back to the pits, have thrashed throughout the time between these 2 rounds, and it's a very difficult thing to come back and meet up against Ron Colson, who has the lane choice by virtue of a quicker elapsed time in the previous round of racing. There's some question about the right-hand lane, and Don Prudhomme almost hits the guardrail. He shuts it off, Ron Colson smokes the tires, but Colson wins the race as Don Prudhomme comes in second on this round and takes the early turnoff. And what an upset. The low qualifier at 5.95 seconds. Look at the distortion in this car as you see the right front wheel trying to stay on the ground. The rest of the car twisted all out of shape. Here comes Colson with the smoke off the tires, but it's Colson taking the win and advancing into the next round. Let's go down now to Ron Colson with Steve Evans.
You know, most people, when they race Don Prudhomme, have a defeatist attitude. Ron Colson predicted earlier, he says, I'll get him, I'll beat him. He was that confident that one way or another, he'd get here before the snake, and sure enough, and you've done it more than once this year.
Yeah, this is the most difficult one now, Steve. I left, overpowered the tires, they came loose, I thought I'm dead, but I thought I'm not going to give up till we get to the finish line. I backpedaled, got some degree of control, and we're here.
He got sideways.
Well, I was just about sideways. The only thing this hurts is for lane choice next round, but the cars run well in both lanes, so I think we're still ready for it.
Congratulations, a great run.
Thank you.
The next pair of cars, the 75 national champion, Raymond Beadle, driver of the Blue Max, against the surprise of this event, and this is Kosti Ivanov. It took better than a 6.13 second elapsed time just to make the 16-car field. But Kosti Ivanov was right in the middle of it, and now in round number 2, he's racing a former national champ, Raymond Beadle, and what a race he's given him! And it is Kosti Ivanov with the upset of the meet, 6.20 seconds to a quicker 6:17 for Raymond Beadle. A slight hole shot, an advantage off the starting line going to Ivanov, and does it pay off at the finish line? It pays off in just a matter of inches. Ivanov wins it.
Kosti Ivanov going berserk down here, Dave. The race was so close that apparently he wasn't sure if he'd won or not. And Kosti, let him get his mask off here. You did it all on driving because he ran quicker.
Thank you. What do we run? Anybody here?
You ran 6:20, he ran 6:17.
Well, I said I was going to do a whole shot on somebody, and I did it. And I'm glad it was against Beadle. He's a hard runner, but I think we're going to win this one.
The newest member of the 5-second club. That means he has run a funny car into the 5-second bracket, is Gordy Bonham, the Canadian. The leader in the World Championship points chase in the Showtime Corvette in the far lane is Tom Hoover. Hoover out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, been racing for a number of years along with his mom and dad. His dad over 70 years of age, still working every day as a crew chief for Tom Hoover. Both cars staged, they leave the line together. And Gordy Bonham, just as straight as an arrow, comes in with the quickest elapsed time of eliminations, 6.04 seconds at over 244 miles an hour. That good enough to back up his previous 245 plus and gives him a new national record for Gordy Bonham. Once again, here's Steve.
Gordy Bonham, besides the win light, you're now officially the world's fastest funny car driver.
Boy, I love it. Haven't run 247 like the Snake Boat sure says I'm going to try this weekend.
Well, that's a backed-up national record of 245.90, but the elapsed time, 6:04. The Snake's gone, the Max is gone. You've got a real shot at this.
Been a long time since 72 in the final here, huh? We're going to try to be there again.
The defending national champion, Tom the Mongoose McEwen. It was just 1 year ago in probably the most dramatic drag race of all time. Tom McEwen defeated Don Prudhomme in the finals to gain the national title. Today, he's got a tough job. He has got to defeat Pat Foster in the Super Shops car just to advance to the semifinal. Foster has already run over 246 miles an hour. He needs to back it up within 1% to set a new speed record. McEwen out first. Foster has to lift. McEwen advancing the lead and wins the race. No record for Foster, an easy win for McEwen. Steve's had a chance to catch up with Don Prudhomme.
Snake, you set a brand new national record this weekend, made many, many runs down the racetrack, never broke apart. That first round engine problem just seemed to break your continuity.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Seeing how you've been around this game for a while, you understand that. It's not as easy as it looks. And you have a situation where we're running real well, qualifying good, and setting a national record, and something goes wrong and you get behind, it's very hard to catch up.
The sound that is attracting the people to the grandstands is the 2,000 horsepower nitro-burning engines of Funny Car Eliminator as we move into semi-final racing. Ron Colson completing his long smoky burnout. Kosti Ivanov in the lane nearest us. The burnout's done to heat up the tires and get them as clean as possible. Here in slow motion, watch the violent motion that Kosti Ivanov's car goes through as he leaves a puddle of water, gets the tires spinning, and they actually start burning, getting them very hot to provide the best traction that he can get for his engine. Ron Colson in the far lane, upset winner over Don Prudhomme, but the lane choice going to the Boston Shaker, Kosti Ivanov, and it could prove all important. Ivanov up in smoke, Olsen out in front, and it is Ron Colson braking. Kosti Ivanov wins it, and what an upset. Kosti Ivanov in the finals. He only runs 6.76 seconds. As we watch again an instant replay, you see Ivanov instantly going up into smoke. Ron Colson, something breaking on his car, and Kosti Ivanov headed towards the finish line and the finals.
Well, this is one guy the trackside tipsters never picked to be in the final round at the U.S. Nationals, but he's here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think we were lucky on that run. We smoked the tires a little bit, but apparently he had a little problem too, so, well, you have to take the luck when you can get it, and luck was with us this time.
It'll be Kosti Ivanov in the final, and he may need a lot of luck there as he will race one of these two men. This is the new speed record holder, Gordy Bonin from Canada. In this final race of the semifinal round, it's Tom the Mongoose McEwen, his opponent. McEwen, the winner of the Nationals last year in that tricky right-hand lane, but he doesn't smoke the tires or shake the car bad. It's a close race, and it's Bonin pulls it out and moves into the finals 6.16 seconds to only 0.05 of a second slower. As we look again in instant replay, Tom McEwen doing a tremendous job in a tough lane, but it's Gordy Bonin with the win as he moves into the finals against Kosti Ivanov.
Jack in the box, Gordy Bonin coming out of the hatch of this trans-am-bodied funny car. One of the turnaround guys giving him a big cold glass of water. You've done it, son. You're in the finals for the second time in your career. It was back in, what, 72?
That's it, 72 here against McCullough.
You were just a rookie then.
Still am, aren't I? Yeah, I'm only 19.
Sure. But you've got a new national speed record. But let's talk about Kosti Ivanov. You seem to have a performance edge over him, but if you smoke the tires, your history.
That's right. We've had the clutch set at this racetrack like we'd run wood burner someplace with no traction at all. I don't know why, but it's working. I mean, we got a very soft clutch.
Track changing a lot?
No, not really. Maybe for the guys with the, wide pack and all the horsepower, but we'll be okay.
Down here at the Kosti Ivanov pits, it's anything but routine. Don Prudhomme just yelled, "Who owns this car?" There's not a Kosti's crew around. The Blue Max crew, Prudhomme's crew, all thrashing on the Hemi engine. As you can see, it's totally apart. All of these guys belong to other crews. Ivanov is in the trailer trying to piecemeal some pistons and rings together. They just don't have the kind of spare parts. They're not used to national event competition, especially final round pressure. So it is really bedlam here, and very funny too, I might add. A lot of good one-liners.
Funny car final, an incredible amount of work performed by both crews, Kosti Ivanov and the Boston Shaker. Kosti's 32 years old. During the week, he is a mechanical engineer, but for this one weekend, he is one of the greatest funny car drivers of all time. Gordy Bonin has established a new national speed record here at over 245 miles an hour, a professional racer by trade, and the body is up and the shutoff sign being given to Kosti Ivanov. Something going wrong as all the work and all the effort between the rounds did not pay off, as apparently something leaking out of the car. They're shaking their heads no. The starting line crew saying, shut it off, in a single run for Gordy Bonin, the 1979 U.S. Nationals champion. Gordy Bonin doesn't take it easy. 6.30 seconds, his speed 238 miles an hour, and at a zero elapsed time, the string of luck ran out for Kosti Ivanov. $17,000 richer, though, is Gordy Bonin, the funny car champion.
Even on a, you'll take it any way you can get it, right?
I'm telling you, I don't know what we did or what he did, but I'm kind of glad he did, because we had some tire shake out there. We were scared of it all day.
Well, it's not like you backed into this. When you qualified number 2, set a new national speed record, everything but elapsed time, which went with Prudhomme.
Well, he's the snake, you know. We got to sneak up on him.
After a full season of racing in the World Championship Series, only 324 points separate Raymond Beadle from the defending world champ Don Prudhomme. Earlier today, Steve talked to both racers.
Don Prudhomme, you've owned that number 1 on the side of your car for 4 consecutive years. What do you have to accomplish today to keep it?
Well, it's going to be a difficult chore. If I go to the last round with Raymond Beadle, along the way, I'd have to set both ends of the national record. In track conditions the way they are, that looks doubtful. Or Raymond Beadle has to go out first round or second round, and I need to win the race.
You'd like to have qualified higher where you had lane choice?
Well, I certainly would, yeah. It's been a difficult track for us here, and we've been having our share of problems, and it's unfortunate at the end of the year that that happens.
And Tom McEwen will go right after you round 1.
Oh, yeah, certainly, but I'm going to go right after him, too, and the race isn't over, and we'll see.
Raymond Beadle, the Funny Car World Championship is within your grasp here today. Just exactly what does the Blue Max crew have to do to take that number 1 off of Don Prudhomme's car and put it on yours?
Of course, we need to stick within 1 round of Snake, but primarily we're concentrating on winning the race, because we win the race, we'll definitely have the championship.
Now, do you feel you have an advantage? You're qualified quicker? Maybe you've got a handle on it?
We do have a little advantage there. We qualified in the top half of the field. Snake qualified in the bottom half, which gives us lane choice, and I think that's going to be very decisive in this race. Being yesterday and the day before, the tire lane was definitely had an advantage over the other one.
That's the way it was earlier. Right now, the first of these 2 critical races is on the starting line at Ontario Motor Speedway. Raymond Beadle of Dallas, Texas, the famed Blue Max. It's been a long season, and it was just a couple of weeks ago when Beadle moved ahead of Prudhomme by 324 points when he won the Fall Nationals title at Seattle International Raceway. Raymond also winning the Summer Nationals in his quest for the lead in the World Championship Series. His competition on the line right now is Jeb Adolph, and Adolph is having problems with Pat Johnson's car. He cannot get it into reverse. He's down track after his burnout, trying to get the car to back up. Now, here it comes back. He may be having problems with the shifter, and what a break that would be for Raymond Beadle in this first round. As he said earlier, he needs to win each round and stay ahead of Don Prudhomme in his quest for the World Champions title. Again, still some problems with Adolph as Beadle begins to move to the starting line, and he may get the break that he needed. A single in the first round for Raymond Beadle. And the all-important World Championship Series points keeps mounting for the Blue Max. The elapsed time, only 6.63, but the most important thing is the round win to keep him ahead of the Snake.
Well, that's 1 down. That must relieve a little of the tension, the pressure.
Well, that's a little bit. This one here is the one that's going to decide, though, Steve.
On the starting line right now.
McEwen said, don't worry.
Is that what he said?
Well, he told me, so we'll see what him and Billy Bones come up with.
Don Prudhomme needs to win this race to stay alive in his quest for an unprecedented 5th World Champion title. That would make him 5 in a row, unheard of in all of motorsports. Thousands of eyes on the starting line, and none with more interest than Raymond Beadle's crew.
Dave, the Blue Max crew walking out to the edge of the racetrack, all but praying for Tom the Mongoose McEwen. McEwen assured him, I'll get him for you guys. We'll see.
And they're on the starting line finishing their burnout procedure. Tom McEwen, the Mongoose, Don Prudhomme, the Snake. They've met many times before, but for Don Prudhomme, this is the most critical in his quest for the World Champion title. The burnouts are finished. They're approaching the starting line at Ontario Motor Speedway. And it'll be Tom McEwen out first. Prudhomme smokes the tires. It's over.
Dave, it is absolute bedlam down here. The Blue Max crew has gone crazy. They are the world champions. How do you feel right now?
Well, we're glad we won, but like I told Snake, I'm sorry we just had to end it up with a track like this where we both didn't really get to run for it. But we've always wanted this, and it's something we dreamed about. But
it's everybody's dream.
Yeah. So
good for business, too.
Yeah, it won't hurt it at all. Thank you a lot.
Number 1, Raymond Beadle in the Blue Max.
Ray Beadle goes over to congratulate Tom McEwen on that very important first-round victory over Don Prudhomme. As we get ready to go into the second round of racing, let's meet the drivers. Ron Colson driving the Hawaiian. He'll be racing against Tom McEwen. You saw him beat the Snake in round number 1. Trip Shoemake driving for Johnny Loper out of Phoenix, Arizona. His competition, the new world champion, Raymond Beadle. The winner of the U.S. Nationals and the Gator Nationals earlier this year, Gordy Bonin. From Waco, Texas comes his competition, Billy Meyer. John Force from Fullerton, California, against Tom Ridings, who's driving for Joe Pisano. And it's the second round of racing, and Tom McEwen, while he won his race over the Snake in round number 1, he didn't go quick enough to get lane choice. That goes to Ron Colson. And still the racetrack providing lots of problems for all these drivers. We'll see if McEwen's got it figured out. He had the good lane the first round. Now he's got the bad lane. Can he pull it out again? And Colson's car makes a bit of a move to the center line, but it moves way ahead of Tom McEwen. And Ron Colson wins at 6.35 seconds at 236 miles an hour. A fine time. You see Colson driving away from the center line as McEwen just not enough horsepower to pull him across the finish line ahead of Colson.
He left just as hard as he could at
Ron Colson, the crew of Roland Leong's Hawaiian, heading down to pick him up. Colson, one of the finer drivers around the country, going over, offering condolences to Tom McEwen. But McEwen had his victory in round 1 when he defeated Prudhomme. And here's the world champion, Raymond Beadle. And Beadle also in round 1 won his race, won the world championship, but lost the lane choice. Trip Shoemake gets it, driving Johnny Loper's Little Hoss out of Phoenix, Arizona. But Beadle, a very crafty veteran. Maybe he's got it figured out, that tricky right-hand lane. Both cars now staged. Let's see. Shoemake up in smoke, and Beadle up close to him, but just no horsepower at the finish line, as there it is. Trip Shoemake wins it, 6.60 seconds, and an elated crew as Shoemake now moves into the semifinals with that win over the world champion. Coming up, we'll take a look as we see the two cars pulling off the track, just how it happened. As Shoemake strikes the tires right there, you can see the car lunge when he changes gears, and he pulls ahead of Beadle. Beadle way down on power, trying to get off the starting line without smoking the tires. He did, but he lost the race.
Trip Shoemake and his pretty wife Susie from Phoenix, Arizona, celebrating going into the semifinals. Been a long time since you've seen the semis, Tripper.
Last time I got here was Englishtown, and then I ended up stumbling against Raymond. And we had a hard season, and the track is less than ideal today. But Loper and I never give up. This guy's tough, boy. I mean, we can knock him down. He comes right back.
Don Garlitz was talking down here earlier. He says he's taking powder out of his car and going quicker.
Yeah, the thing is, with the way our fuel system's set up, we take power out, we drop off a half a second. Right now, I just learned how to drive on a dirt track. I can just drive her on down.
Okay, going into the semifinal round is Trip Shoemake, also known as 240 Shorty.
And a tough racetrack faces Waco Billy Meyer, and a tough competitor in that other lane is Gordy Bonin. The Canadian has already won the U.S. Nationals this year and set a new speed record at over 246 miles an hour for Gordy Bonin. But Billy Meyer has a twofold job here. One, he has got to defeat Bonin, which is hard enough, but he's also got to figure out that right-hand lane, which has proved very difficult so far today. He leads well, but there's no power there, as you can see. Gordy Bonin just pulls away to a very easy win, a fine 6.40. His speed, 234 miles an hour. Bonin moves into the semifinals. Here you see they leave the starting line together, and right there at that point the race is over unless something breaks, because Bonin moves well ahead of Billy Meyer and takes an easy win to go into the semis. Bonin, as we said, had won the U.S. Nationals this year. Here we watch him as he comes out of his car using the escape hatch in the roof rather than coming out the side of the car or waiting for a crew member to lift up the body. The Canadian Gordy Bonin winning the U.S. Nationals Colson, setting that speed record at over 246 miles an hour, also has a Gator Nationals win to his credit in 1979. From Fullerton, California comes the Corvette of John Force. This is the final race in the second round of funny car eliminations. Alongside of Force and in the left-hand lane, or the good lane, is Joe Pisano's car, driven by Tom Ridings. Ridings has advanced up from the Pro Comp ranks. Those are the alcohol-burning funny cars. Now in the nitro burner of Joe Pisano and smoking the tires, going all over the racetrack is Ridings. He's still in it, but from behind comes John Force, just sticking with it at 7.23 seconds. Hardly any time to talk about, but it's all important as to who gets to the finish line first. The times really mean very little except for lane choice, but it's who's at the finish line first. That's what counts. The losing time for Tom Ridings was a 7:27. As we watch, we see Ridings going up in smoke just a few hundred feet off the starting line. The car drifting sideways. He gets it back straight. It goes sideways again. He drives it straight again. He gets back in it on the power, but here comes Force. And look at the Corvette move by just at the very few final feet.
John Force, that's one you might have thought you lost had you not stuck with it.
Steve, I made one of those all-time screw-ups. I left the starting line in high gear. I can't believe I did it. My car was weird acting. I went out there and just did everything wrong. Pedaled it, hit it, but I seen he was in trouble. I recovered it, reached down and shifted it in high gear, and I was in high gear. I got to apologize to my guys because they've worked hard, and I screwed it up, and the Lord just let us pull that one right out of the bag.
Well, you've got a reprieve as you go into the semifinals. You'll never do that again, probably.
Oh, I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes before this thing's over, but that's a killer to be that dumb. It's dumb. It's the pressure. When I got in the glue box, the car was sideways coming out, and I had to pedal it. So I thought, well, I'll leave it in high gear and try to do another drive with it to save from wearing the clutch. And when I backed up, my whole program changed, and I never thought to put it back in low. And it was just one of those dumb.
Seems to me it takes a heck of a guy to admit it.
I'm a heck of a guy.
Okay, John Force goes into the semifinals with the Wendy's car.
We'll be back with more racing from the World Finals in just a moment. Here is Gordy Bonham, the Nationals champion. He's got that right lane. Let's see how he can do as he comes up against the Hawaiian, the car owned by Roland Leong and driven by Ron Colson. In the previous round, Colson ran a 6.35 second elapsed time, while Bonham ran a 6.40. Just 0.05 of a second separated their performances. Bear in mind, they were both in the left lane in the previous round, and by virtue of the lower ET, the lane choice going to Ron Colson here in the semifinals. And Colson goes out of control and crosses the center line, which means automatic disqualification. So Gordy Bonham moves into the finals. A fine 6.64 second elapsed time. His speed 231, as the best time turned yet today seems in that right-hand lane by Gordy Bonham. Right here is Ron Colson out of control. You see him heading into that right-hand lane. He backs off the throttle, turns the wheel back to the left, but it's too late. He's already crossed the center line, and that means instant disqualification. You can't cross the center line in any run in competition. Here's Gordy Bonham and Ron Colson.
Gordy Bonham, possibly the only driver this year to make it into 3 final rounds in national event competition.
Well, if that's the case, we're going to have to win it. I mean, we came here, there's only one thing to do, and that's win the darn thing.
Don Garlitz just told me that a man can win this race in that right-hand lane.
He's not wrong. I don't know what we ran, but it felt pretty good for that lane. It felt the best run I've felt or seen all weekend in that lane.
In the 660s, and let's go back up to the starting line and see if you win lane choice.
Okay.
Okay, let's watch.
As Gordy Bonham watches, John Force hopefully overcomes his mistake of the previous round and will start the car in low gear off the starting line. He had a big break as he wanted his crew member directing him back into his own tracks, trying for the traction that he hopes against hope will be there. Alongside of him, Trip Shoemake. Driving for Johnny Loper. Shoemake hailing out of Phoenix, Arizona. As he told Steve a little bit earlier, this is the first time he got to the semifinals of a national event this year. In the previous round, Shoemake with a 6.60 easily outdistanced the time by John Force. But all important right now is how quick will they run to determine who gets the lane choice in the finals against Gordy Bonnet. And they both smoke the tires. John Force drifting out towards the guardrail. He backs out of it and gets back in it, but it's too late as Trip Shoemake moves into the finals. His elapsed time, 6.88 seconds, and a dejected crew member heads back for John Force's crew to go down and tow the car back as race day is over for John Force. You see the two cars both losing traction right off the starting line. And Shoemake, recovering the quickest, gets the traction back and gets across the finish line first.
Well, the little guy is walking tall here today at the World Finals. I think this is your first ever final round appearance, and a big race.
It is. It's the first time I've ever been in an NHRA final. Wow. I'm awed.
Now, you won't have lane choice, but it's beginning to look like it's evening out.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not really sure what to do, but it's been so much luck all day. You know, I figure we can just, at least longer in the final, it helps out my crew and helps out everybody. You know, it's been a long weekend.
Pumps everybody up for the season to come.
Yeah, we had such a bad season anyway, and then to finish.
You had a lot of fires, a lot of burned up bodies. And...
Yes, our second car in my third fire suit.
Trip Shoemake, it hasn't been a good year, but things are looking up here in the final race of the season. Wife Susie in here, John Loper, who owns the car. Back to you, David.
Steve, we're getting set for the finals of Top Fuel, Funny Car, and Pro Stock here at the World Finals. It's incredible the amount of work that is performed on these cars in the short time between the rounds of elimination. In Trip Shoemake's area crewman taking the wheels and tires off, while car owner Johnny Loper under the rear of the vehicle checking something out in the rear end. Wife Susie Shoemake somewhat pensive as she is watching the crew working on the car, and driver and husband Trip Shoemake in adjusting the clutch and working on the rear of the motor. Let's go over to Gordy Bonnen's pit.
There's a real thrash going on here at the Canadian pacemaker car of Gordy Bonnen. Jerry Verhill's the crew chief. I understand you haven't heard a thing. What's all this thrash?
Well, we want to win, so we thought we better look and make sure. You know, these things are. They can break, and you don't even know it. So.
U.S. Nationals, you didn't hurt a part, but you field strip at every run.
We put 8 pistons in it today to start with, because the 8 that we got here were from Indy.
How about your driver here? What do you think of his job today?
Doing fine, just like always. Don't worry about him.
Do you talk to him at all? Do you give him any advice on driving? He doesn't bother you about the motor, you don't bother him.
I take care of this, and he takes care of that, and if we both do our job, we'll come out okay, right?
And it's been a great team so far.
Yeah, I think so.
Trip Shoemake has the problem of the right-hand lane as wife Susie backing him into his own track, hoping that he can find the traction that no one else has found. His competition, Gordy Bonnen, won his race in that right-hand lane the previous round as Ron Colson crossed the center line, and he ran quick enough to gain the lane choice over Trip Shoemake. But this track has been very tricky in both lanes all day long. So it really is anybody's race at this time. Both very competent, very capable drivers. The third appearance in the finals of the national event. Thus far in 1979 for Gordy Bonnen. As you heard Trip tell us earlier, this is the first time he's ever been there, and he's almost in awe of the whole thing. The burnouts are over. Crew Chief Jerry Verhill directing driver Gordy Bonnen to the starting line. Shoemake approaching those light beams for the electronic starting system known as the Christmas tree. The tree goes green, and both cars smoke the tires. Gordy Bonnen recovers and heads across the finish line first. For the third time this season, Gordy Bonnen wins an NHRA national event. The elapsed time for Bonnen, 6.53 at 234 miles an hour. You see Shoemake just smoking the tires ever so slightly, but he's obviously down on power as Gordy Bonnen streaks across the finish line to take home the World Finals title back to Delta, British Columbia, Canada.
Well, out the jack-in-the-box comes Dave McClellan as he has won the Winston World Finals, Super Nationals, and Funny Car Eliminator. The World Championship may be going to Raymond Beadle, but you're the only guy all year in Funny Car that won 3 national events. Congrats.
Thanks, Steve. What a battle.
You're bushed, huh?
I'm mentally exhausted. I mean, to figure this track out, Jerry and I have been put in 100 hours this weekend.
Were you a little worried when you saw him maybe get out first that he would hook up in that line?
No, his car always moves real hard in the start line. We got this thing choked up so bad that it's like at Indy, the thing leaves real bad, but...
Choked up, you mean what?
Tight clutch.
Okay. Well, congratulations to you and the Pacemaker team, and the U.S. green again goes back to Canada.
We love it. Thank you very much.
Gordy Bonnet.